You need a dog that's going to sniff out, say, explosives or marijuana or something like that. So you're trying to train it to like sniff that thing. So like for marijuana, they'll actually take like a dog toy and soak it in like cannabis oil to make it like marijuana smelly. Yeah. And that's the toy that dog, like that's the favorite toy. It only comes out an hour a day. It's very special. But when that toy, it's like, oh, you get to play for an hour, right? And they throw that. And then so it associates the smell with like their favorite toy that like most of the time they don't have 23 hours a day. They don't have access to. Yeah. So it's like, and then they play games. They hide the toy. Like the toy is now under a big pile of blankets. Like, where's the toy? But you can smell that because dogs have that sense of smell. It's like, I know my toy is under there. So when he smells it in the suitcase, he's like, my toy is in that suitcase.
But is there anyone? Is that?
What do you think about that?
Nice.
I love that.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
how they
that
train them apparently.
It's not that they know it's illegal.
The dog is not aware.
Of their toy.
The dog does not know which plants are illegal by human constructs.
What's his name? Farah Malim.
Oh, why are you triggering me like unprovoked?
Who is this?
Farah Malim is a member of parliament. I don't know in Northeastern.
Okay.
Dad.
Yeah. And I think he's led a docket in the interior. I think so. He's worked in the ministry for
Farah Malim.
Okay.
Interior. He was recorded speaking like the unthinkable about the demos. How if he was president, he would slaughter at least 5 Gen Zs.
Oh my God!
5,000.
Are you sure it's real?
5,000
a day.
Are you sure it's real these days? This is like a supposed audio recording or something, or
it was in a conference.
It was a video.
It was on
so
video.
you can view him saying this, yeah?
Yes,
Yeah.
but he was speaking in Somali. So it's the Somalis that came out.
Interesting.
And they were like, this is unacceptable.
Oof, that's
Yes.
bad.
So of course, just like you, he's gone with the no, it's fake. It's,
He said it's
I'm not.
edited.
I'm not. Do you think I was defending the guy? I was just offering an alternative theory.
Well.
Okay, just like me.
In the spirit of offering alternative theory,
Okay.
we are at the peaceful protest,
Yes.
and I'm going all out. Ruto must go. And then he asks me, do you think he must go?
I didn't know if. I mean, I was curious if like this is a conviction of yours, or you're just chanting it because everybody's chanting it. Like in church, I chant stuff. I don't even know what I'm saying.
No, this started off hard. You know what? I had no reaction but just to laugh.
Sure, sometimes you'll get into something because like
God
that's the
doing
spirit.
Yeah.
But can you be led by someone like what's
No,
like
no,
of course the
I
idea
get
is
this.
no, let me finish.
Okay.
Like why would you want your president to be the kind of callous guy who actually kills people? People are still turning up dead now.
Yeah.
And
I think you think I'm defending Ruto. I just have
no.
no opinion. I'm not informed enough to have an opinion on it. And then I'm asking like the questions of like what right now with the current constitution, is there mechanisms to like for the population to remove them if they're not happy? And did we talk about this last time?
No.
We might have like homework to do. Like how does he go? Like is there an actual mechanism right now to go? And if there's not, maybe that's a problem too. Because again, I said your constitution's so fresh, the ink is still drying. We can make changes. Gen Z wasn't there in 2010 when it was being written. And now we might have opinions maybe on accountability and transparency and things like that. Like there's the chance, but like it'd be cool if it was able to be done with like still molding the current constitution while the clay is not dry, rather than like he must go something outside. Like we've got some structure now with this constitution, let's try to move together. Let's like get input on it, but like let's not tear it up. Like I don't think you really want a revolution.
I do.
Because I don't think revolutions turn out like you think they will. Like you think you'll have a Gen Z president?
No.
Okay. What do you picture? How do you picture Ruto going?
Post-revolution.
What is that?
You are asking how does she picture?
Yeah, like what's the mechanism by which he departs?
So first of all, the problem that we have right now is we don't have an IEBC.
It was constituted.
And it's
What is
the
IEBC?
the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
So we need that established for us to set the wheels rolling on something like that.
Right.
So first of all, he can go by resigning. That's the easiest way.
I mean, okay. So, I mean, if that's what's being asked, like, that's a reasonable request.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
So that's
Got
the first step.
Got it.
And remember, the people are the ones who are asking this, and it's the people who give him this particular role.
He serves
Yeah. So of
at
course,
the will of people.
yeah. So that's not. So people are still gonna keep agitating for that.
Okay.
And once the IEBC has been constituted, there are processes that needs that. But of course, we are going to face resistance to that, because I don't even know. That's actually something that I need to look into. I don't know why we need the president to constitute an independent body. Like, I don't know why. And that's the big problem that's happening right now with the country, is the lack of independence of bodies that are supposed to be independent.
Right.
Like the legislature is supposed to be independent from the executive. The judiciary is supposed to be independent from the executive. And like, all of these bodies are supposed to be independent.
Yeah.
And then you think about if the police are in the pockets of the legislature, that's a problem. We have a lot of enmeshment that we need to figure out.
Right.
So I don't understand why we have to have the president's hand in constituting the IEBC, especially with deem it an independent body. So there's a lot of structures that need to be established in the independence. Like Sharon last time was talking about the fact that one of the things that the president said that he's going to work on is bring this someone to audit the public debt, as one of his procurements. To audit the public debt. But we already have that. We have the Auditor General, and she's doing a great. Like, she's out there. Like, I've already said that this is not okay.
Right.
Yeah. So, and she's churning reports after reports about, like, right now there's no projects to show for like $1 trillion Kenya shillings in debt.
Right.
So, and she's bringing out these reports. We don't need another independent body.
Right.
So we are not deluded. Like, and that's the thing. That's the education. Like, that's the civic education that is going on. Like, and Ruto is. You might think of Ruto as a person, but we think personally. Let me speak about myself. I'm thinking about Ruto as an institution,
right?
Like, and the institution as it is right now is not working, and
right.
When we say Ruto must go, it's Ruto and his frame of mind of thinking.
Got it.
And who's to say that we can't have a Gen Z president? Like, my hope is that we need a whole new crop.
Yeah,
we need a whole new crop. Like Raila, like. This is one of the things that just shows that Ruto doesn't have a clue how to deal with the problem that is facing him. Mm-hmm. Like, what do you mean dialogue with Raila? Like, Raila was not involved in the protests.
Yeah. Right.
So all they did is consolidate that political class in one. Like, now we know we're dealing with one team.
Right.
So, like, he just said, okay, Raila dialogued with Moi, Raila dialogued with Kibaki, Raila dialogued with handshake with Uhuru. So I guess Raila is the silver bullet. It's not. It's bigger than that. And so when you think about that, the Ruto must go chant. It's Ruto himself as an individual and the institution that he stands for.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Got it. What say you, Sharon?
I think as a stern supporter of Raila fixes himself where he's not needed. He's always part of the problem, and he feels like he can be part of the solution. And Gen Zs have told him Tuesday the 16th will be the mother of all Maandamanos in Kenya. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let alone the one that people breached parliament.
This Tuesday?
Yeah, next
scary.
Tuesday.
I was supposed to do some research on the IMF.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the one thing that I have, I don't know much about the loan contract with Kenya, but the institution itself, because it's kind of like, I said it was like affiliated with the World Bank. And so, which is effectively an American institution. Like, it's meant to be international. And the IMF and the World Bank were set up at the same time after World War II. They're both based in Washington, D.C. I think their headquarters are actually right across the street from each other. So, like, you can think of the IMF and the World Bank as the same, because they were sort of created. And it was like, World Bank, you take care of the poor countries. IMF, you take care of, like, the wealthier countries. And that was kind of the way they split it. And over time, the mandates have changed and things like that. And they even have you know, an investment arm of the World Bank now. Like, you know, bureaucracies tend to expand, yeah. But the loan itself, I don't know. But it is definitely like America provides most, like the bulk of the money to like for the operation of the IMF and the World Bank, and they're based in Washington D.C. And I guess there's loads of circulation between like American like political, you know, kind of bureaucratic class, like the, you know, kind of government sort of sub-ministers and stuff, like moving between the World Bank and the American government. So you can think of it as like that is basically the United States who's telling you these sorts of things, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So when he says that the IMF said so, it's kind of like it's pretty much the United States
America
said so.
said so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so
And
we
I
were
read
we were
just a
sideshowed with Ruto with Shaq. Turns out he was going to make some deals.
Yes, we got caught up with
Yeah.
Ruto and Shaq for a little
Yeah.
while, and then I skimmed it a little bit. I mean, again, like the IMF, they've like some of the ideas because like they had their list of things to. They want the government to get out of the private sector, which is kind of a, you know, I think is probably like a healthy thing. Like let entrepreneurs do stuff. The government shouldn't compete where like private sector can do well, right?
Yeah.
Like right now, you can give an example, like National Oil Company. There's still a gas station chain, a petrol station chain owned by the Kenyan government, which is National Oil. You don't see many of them anymore.
Yeah.
I suspect because it's probably poorly run because it doesn't have the profit motive, so they fail and they shut them down. But the private sector, Total, Ruby's, Shell, all these independent stations seem to be doing just fine in getting us our petrol into our car. I don't think we also need a Kenyan government-run gas station. So here's why I agree with the IMF. Yeah.
So that's here's the problem with how that works.
Okay. Tell me.
In other countries, and right now what we can go with, it has happened in Kenya and it is happening in other countries, is that when the IMF comes with pressure to privatize, these jobs, these private institutions that come to take these up are not local institutions. They're not Kenyan institutions.
Right.
They are mostly they're gonna be huge multinational institutions.
That's true.
And doesn't leave much for local entrepreneurship. So that's
okay. It doesn't leave much for local entrepreneurship because these international ones compete so well, or there's some structural reason why a Kenyan can't start up a petrol station and make profits in the same way that
they don't
Total
give them
is.
you're not given a chance, like as a like if a big institution like that comes, you are not going to be able to compete so well. And I know
it is a scale business, like
Yeah.
that's why the biggest companies in the world are oil companies, because it's like a business where it's like you spend $10 billion drilling in all these areas, only one of those is going to pay off, so you got to be willing to waste all this exploratory money and things like that.
So
it
like
is a scale
right
business,
now
you're right.
the rumor is with part of this the finance bill, I haven't looked into this, so I haven't verified this, is that we discovered a whole bunch of water in an aquifer in northern Kenya, and
Of
we were
oil and
water aquifer,
Oh, sorry.
yeah.
Yes.
And we were just gonna have Coca-Cola work with that, and we've seen what Coca-Cola has done with Nestle in the US itself. So what kind of thing are they going to do with the Turkana aquifers? So
I see.
it's that kind of thing.
What'd you think of the concert?
The peace concert?
Yeah, the peace concert.
I liked it.
It was
It
fun to
didn't
see.
even feel like we were just protesting a few weeks ago. It was so jovial,
Yeah.
you know.
It is part of the protest.
Oh, it's part of the protest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With all
yeah, I definitely had that vibe.
artists, BN.
Yeah, I like Nameless.
Yeah. And I felt like they were just being a bit nice. Like, let's not rub politics in too much.
Yeah,
It wasn't about them.
yeah. Most people
No,
were there to honor
because
the.
every other thing they were saying, the chant back was Ruto must go.
Yeah.
So they were feeling like
Later in the day,
we
yeah,
don't want to
later in
rub
the day.
shoulders with these politicians. You know, there probably is a gig coming. Only Maji started a chant,
Okay.
like, you know, with the people. Everyone else was insisting on Ruto must go, not listening. So they were fixing the Ruto must go in every part of the song. Every part of the song. But I
Yeah.
liked it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was
So
a
it-
nice crowd. Everybody was really cool.
Yeah, so it turns out like entry was free. So basically these musicians were performing for free.
Yeah, they must have donated their time. And
Only
I mean,
until yesterday,
this would-
Robert Alai just exposed them that
did
they
he
were
say?
paid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But who's providing the money for this?
Yeah, who-
We have an mchanga that was put up,
I see.
a pay bill that was put up.
Okay.
So part of that money
But
paid
who's
the
like who's managing that?
Boniface Mwangi.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, because that event would have been costly, even if the artists donated their time. It's like the stage guys didn't, and the lights guys didn't, and
Yeah.
the portaloos, the washrooms, you know, whatever they
Oh,
provided.
yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
know, they provided like 100 of those portable. They were really clean. It was like really clean. It was like
Yeah,
well
they were.
organized.
Yeah, very
It's about as well
organized.
organized as
Yeah.
any event I've been to in Kenya. Actually,
Yeah.
actually, yeah, that's true.
It was very
Yeah,
nice.
it was cool. It was
Yeah.
really good operation. So
I could assume that the population there was like 10,000.
yeah, it was. Yeah, I think so. Maybe
Yes,
five.
yeah.
I don't know, 5 or 10. Thousands for sure.
Yeah,
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 it was fun.
packed.
And you're saying you are the only white guy there?
Nah, there were
No,
there
there
were
was
a handful
some-
of others. Yeah,
Oh,
sprinkled through,
we
including
haven't-
reporters. There were some reporters. But oh yeah, do you want to tell
Yes.
this story? At first, I was the only white guy. Then we spotted another one.
Yes. And Chad just mentioned this one must be from IMF.
It was a joke, right? Like
It was a
that's spy
joke,
from the
yeah.
IMF.
And then I told him, okay, go ahead and find out. Then,
And like I went to him as a joke, and I was like, "Are you here from the IMF? Like, you know, like you're a spy?" And he's like, "World Bank."
imagine.
And I was like, "Oh, okay.
Hadn't thought
Best
past
of
this.
luck with that."
That was a
And they're
close shot.
literally, you know, later in the day. This was real early. Later in the day, there were people with anti-IMF
Yeah.
things. It's like I should have been. That's the guy.
Yeah, you should.
Let's kick his ass. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many whites.
Yeah.
Indians,
There was quite a few.
Asians,
Yeah,
there are
yeah.
so many. Quite a
I was the only one dressed in Kenyan gear though, because some people were taking my photo
Oh,
with me
yeah,
because I had the Kenyan
yeah.
flag. So
with the Kenyan flag.
yeah,
I'm glad you guys made it.
yeah.
And to the end,
I'm
I
sorry
think
you
we
couldn't.
left when there were
Yeah.
only two artists who hadn't
I was
performed.
FOMO'd out.
You would have gone. You would have come if you would have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We left a little bit early, just
Yeah.
before the rains.
Just
I wonder what
before the
happened with the
rains.
rains. Yeah, because I think it poured on it for a little while.
Yeah.
Just
Did people
water.
post videos? Yeah, that would have been fun.
And those
I thought.
guys wouldn't if they endured the
Tear gas.
the water
Oh,
cannon.
the water cannons.
So
Yeah,
the
what's a
rain
bit
is
of
nothing.
showers.
And you and I saw some good Instagram protesters. Those slay
People were
queens.
shooting, were shooting Instagram videos while there. Yeah, it was a mix of Gen Z, millennials, and there was police around as well at the entrance. But I'm sure there were DCIs and NIS just parading as civilians amongst us.
Probably. I mean,
yeah.
but, I mean,
You can bet on that.
yeah, probably.
Yeah, yeah.
What I
Even
liked
just to be
about that-
available if trouble starts to break out. Because, you know, I think I said, did you think, like, I felt like most people were there just to enjoy the concert and whatever.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
whatever. Like,
yeah.
there was you could see some guys that, like, if trouble broke out, they would enjoy that.
Yes.
Like, you'd see some guys kind of hanging around, yeah. So hopefully there were cops in there just to, like, keep an eye to see if that crowd, because
Exactly.
if that crowd gets too big, like, trouble can break out, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't, you know, necessarily.
And
have
anyone
political
on the
opinion.
express road, like on the expressway,
the expressway
there's a
is great,
vehicle that
yeah.
actually parked just to see what's happening.
That is actually a beautiful place for a concert. Have you been to something on that hill in Uhuru Park?
Uhuru Park.
Yeah. As a kid, we would go there
Oh.
for the evangelist, Reverend Wairimu Nelson
Yeah.
crusades.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I can tie this into the privatization discussion. Because one of the things that's been slated for privatization is that, okay, you have a beautiful view of the concerts there, beautiful view of the city, and now with the expressway, which looks great. Like the city looks fantastic. Yeah. But the KICC is like, you know, one of the ones that you see, which is cool. But that's one of the ones that's recommended for privatization, I think, by the IMF. Like the government doesn't need to run a conference center. That the Pride Inn seems to be handling it just fine. You know what I mean? That's what they're saying. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the government doesn't need to be in that business. If
Yeah.
you want to hold a conference, there's loads of private Kenyan, whatever, international, whatever enterprises that.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a cool building though. It's got a helipad on top.
Yeah, it does. Have you been at the top?
No, I would love
I
to.
haven't
So
been
beautiful.
to at the top.
It's so beautiful. It's windy, but it's beautiful. So you get to see the whole, I almost said country.
The whole
See
city.
a lot of the city.
I bet you can see Kilimanjaro on a clear day, yeah?
Oh, wow.
I bet you could. Because you can from Gong Hills, yeah?
You can?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Kilimanjaro?
On a really clear day, you can see both Mount Kenya and Mount Kilimanjaro.
Are you serious?
It's only, you know, I probably hiked Gong Hills like 50 times, 75 times.
Only.
It's twice I've seen Kilimanjaro on that
Oh,
hike.
yeah?
That would
So
be
it's
so
rarely, and it doesn't matter if it's cloudy there. It's like if there's any haze in between here and there, it's just like you don't even see any shadow of it.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. The wind probably has to be blowing the haze the right direction, and it's just like a complete clear view. So I bet you could from KSCC. I don't know though. I don't know what might be in the way. There might be something in the way.
It just feels like Godzilla. Like you just feel like you're on top of the world when you're
Yeah.
up there.
Is it like a free entry if you want to go to the...
No. It's like, but it's next to free. It's like 150.
Or any day?
Yeah, any day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but like I guess not Sundays. I don't know about Sundays.
The last time I was in KCC, I was in high school for the music festivals.
Oh.
I was in primary school.
You were part of the music festival?
Yes, I was...
All the way to the nationals?
Yes,
What
I was
did
a
you do?
soloist.
Oh, really?
Yes, I used to lead music performances, and the solo verse poem.
Why have we
Oh, yeah?
never had? Okay,
I know that
You-
part of me.
it's so you.
So
It's
mysterious,
100% you. Like I'm not shocked that. Oh my god, that's so not Sharon. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I can totally see you. But why have we
Yeah.
not? Why have we
And you
not
know,
seen
going
that?
for the nationals was a big deal, yeah?
Yeah.
In primary. And I'm coming from a school down in a village in Kisumu,
That is so
going
cool.
to
Where
Nairobi
was
for
your
the
school?
first time. It's now
Oh wait, are we not allowed to?
it's now a rental.
Oh, like it's no
People
longer a
now
school.
pay
what,
rent.
what town?
Kisumu.
Kisumu. Oh, in Kisumu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. A place
Can you
called
remember like any
Obunga.
poem?
Yeah, AIDS. I did an AIDS poem.
Can you remember
then.
it? Can you recite it for us a little bit? Like whatever you can
I
remember.
can't remember the
I didn't expect
words.
Do you remember any poem? AIDS.
Well, that was
went
pretty
dark.
much
And I think
all
all
our
schools
content.
did it,
That's
yeah,
what our
that time.
most content was
Yeah.
at that
Really?
time. Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
Big
we
issue,
consumed
yeah.
a
It was a
bunch of-
big issue
Can we
then.
talk about
HIV.
this? Because HIV
Yeah.
is like not such a big issue anymore, right?
Apparently,
Yeah.
it is for young people.
Is it?
Yeah, for Gen Zs and
Is it?
Gen Alpha. Yeah. So the problem is, so us millennials, we grew up with the AIDS,
The full
problem.
blown,
like,
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
rampant.
Yes.
It was left, right, and center. Like you couldn't live without knowing someone who was affected by it
Okay.
or infected by
Infected.
it.
It was so bad that you cannot share a mug
Yeah.
with an AIDS patient. What
Yeah,
was that?
and we knew that is not how it's transmitted because
Yeah.
there's a lot of AIDS education. But
Uh-huh.
since we solved that big of a problem, now we are dealing with kids of people who like kids that were actually born with the virus.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
and all
or
they know is
whose
that they take
parents
meds
died
every
of the virus. Yeah.
That's all they know. Like they don't know the gravity of it.
Right.
And then now they've grown up, and then now they're going back to the same unprotected sex.
Right.
So it is like most of the new infections are with young
I see.
people.
I see.
So we need to hear that AIDS poem actually, Sharon, if you can recall.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
AIDS
no.
poem.
Yeah, we
I
need to
have-
bring it back. We need to bring
You
back
wrote
some
it?
AIDS education.
No.
You recited it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just
I see.
recite it as
I
a
see.
solo. Yeah.
So we saw
I
Bian.
even did drama.
Oh, that is so
Yeah,
cool.
like skits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so
I
so
was so
Sharon.
good at it.
And what I knew you know how to sing. Where'd you learn to sing?
I think I'm
Just-
born with it.
You've just done it.
Yeah. I don't think I
Did you
ever.
used to practice a lot, like in church or something? Or?
No. I even
Okay.
used to
It's
play
cool.
piano then.
Play piano.
Yeah, as I sing. See the way?
Yeah.
Ding. Yeah.
Okay, is this something that you'd be interested in like exploring now? Like is
No.
that something that why not?
I'd love to be able to play a musical
Oh
instrument.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, just like.
If
just
I
to
get
walk up to the
interest, I could
piano and,
go
like,
back
actually
to
produce
it.
something that like sounds good would be so cool.
If I don't know. I don't think I can just sit down and say.
I'm never
"No, I
gonna do
want."
it, but I'm just saying it'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
used to be
I'm
nice.
so
I remember.
amazed.
Yeah.
I watch this America Got Talent, especially the musical ones. I love it.
So there
I
is
just-
some interest, Sharon. Come on.
Is there a Kenyan equivalent of America's Got Talent?
Yeah, we did have Tusker Project fame.
Tusker Project fame.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
And also,
Did it
I
produce
think we
anybody
also
that I
had
would know
some
of?
East Africa idols.
Was one of them?
Coca-Cola had their
Coke
own
studio.
pop
Yeah.
stars.
Coca-Cola.
Was
pop
one of
stars.
the like the pop stars here I know produced from one of those shows? Like, is that Nikita? What is it? Nikita.
Nikita
Kering?
Kering
Did she
was,
come out
yeah.
of a reality show of some kind or no?
Did she do any Coke Studio stuff?
I don't know.
Okay.
I
No.
don't know. I know.
For sure, someone like Sanaipe Tande came
Yeah.
from.
You saw her sing at the concert?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
right.
Sanaipe came from Coca-Cola Pop Stars.
I see.
TPF I think was a big one. And which stars came from TPF?
Patricia Kihoro.
Yeah, but Patricia had already started working even a little bit. Well, not professionally, but yeah, she was a big one. And
But the song Nakuona Nerea.
that's not his song.
No, the first song was sung by the twins, these two boys.
Amos
and Josh. Yeah.
Amos.
Those
That's a
were
good one, actually.
Yeah,
That's
those
their
were
name.
Tusker
That's their
Project
I'm not familiar
fame.
with these
Yeah, that
guys.
was TPF. Nawira the Siren, also TPF.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
Is
before.
Mudhoni the drama queen as an artist?
Yes.
I've not heard any of her song. The lady who was in leather pants.
Okay.
She
Yeah.
good.
She was at the show?
Yeah, she was.
She good. She has like 3 albums.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. But they did great. Those artists did fantastic.
So someone, Dochewella's Edith Kimani came from actually a reality show for presenters. I think that was a KTN one.
Okay.
So we've.
Oh, yeah.
we've
There
gone
used to
past
be
the
a
music.
presenters reality show as well.
Oh, okay. A presenter's reality show. What does that mean?
Same model,
Journalists,
like
Okay.
for journalists.
I see.
Yeah.
Speaking of journalists, sorry, I know we talked about this topic before, but I saw this again at the concert, and I just find it so funny. It's like there were people amongst the crowd, some with like photography equipment, like traditional, some with phones, but in like press, things that said press along the back.
Oh, yeah,
And
what
it's
did
just
that
so
idea
funny
had?
to me that it's almost like this magic spell that, like, say that the shit went down at that concert and the police ended up rushing through. They chase everyone else, but the press person could stay and just take pictures, just because.
now we have cameras. So
Just
now
because.
we can
No,
walk
we are
around.
press. We are. I think.
Okay, you'll have an idea.
I think we should, when we get Baada Kazi swag, when are we going to get T-shirts for our fans? So like
Yeah.
merch. It should be like Baada Kazi, and then on the back you can say press.
It says press.
Because we are the
So-
press.
Yeah.
So
And here we just brand Baada Kazi.
Yeah.
Press behind,
Press.
So I looked into it because that's a good idea then when we want to use it for the protests.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody's press. There's no such thing as a
Yeah, but you need a press card.
No, you don't.
You do.
Don't we have freedom of the press in our constitution in Kenya? I think
Yeah,
that's,
you do. You have
that. Okay,
freedom
so
of
here's
press.
here's your press card. You print out that bit of the constitution, and you basically say, "I'm recording for Baada Kazi, and I'm allowed to do it per the constitution. No licensing required."
You actually have to.
You do?
Like I think with the Communications Authority
Should we
of Kenya.
should
we
Baada
should-
Kazi
and
register?
That's actually more of the reason why we should register.
We should
Yeah.
register.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're supposed to register,
Yeah.
let's register because we are the press.
Yeah, we are press.
Expose the man.
Cute.
Stick it to the man.
I'm in charge of the cameras.
Sticking it to the man.
Well, we have
And our small
So what's,
microphones. What do you think?
What's TikTok serving up to you these days?
TikTok has just gotten into the flow of the revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
It's
nothing.
I
but-
actually want,
Nothing
I want
pretty.
YouTube Shorts to serve me up more because I need to learn more about it. It's not serving me up enough these days.
Oh yeah? From TikTok, yeah?
Yeah, or YouTube Shorts.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish I had more revolutionary content.
And it's different. Like the Twitter group. is
Twitter and
different
TikTok
from the
group are very
TikTok group.
different.
Oh,
They
okay.
have different cultures.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
They have So on Twitter you might think that the revolution is over, but on TikTok
Yeah.
it's
It's
heating up.
still
It's
raging.
heating up.
Like
that
currently
funny?
on
They just lit
Twitter,
the fire.
Isn't that
Current-
funny that all these we've talked about this before, all these platforms are the same. Like they actually work all the same, including like LinkedIn, whatever, but like they just develop different cultures.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't post a picture of like me at the concert on Sunday on LinkedIn, but like you would post it on Instagram easy, right?
Yeah.
But you would never
Yeah.
post it on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
It's just like, how do these electronic things develop cultures?
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's strange.
It's different age groups as well, yeah.
I
That-
believe so, yeah. I believe so because Twitter was viewed as this very technical app to use. Like you have to have very high IQ. If you see the kind of
Because people
jokes that
argue,
people
right.
post on Twitter, if you're not a Twitter user, you'll not get it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like they're making
But
inside
the
jokes for
TikTok
some
ones
meme
are
that was
very-
happening 6
yeah,
months ago.
exactly.
I hate that shit.
On TikTok, it's just
Like
the
cool
normal
kid-
jokes.
The cool
like
kids are like, ooh, I was here 6
Exactly.
months ago.
Exactly. So, like, say for example, there's a tweet called Osoro KE. If you wear leather pants, he'll go comment on your photo lasagna. And-
Lasagna.
Yeah, and Twitter tweets will understand what he said.
Okay.
Yes.
Explain it to
Lasagna.
us.
What is
You
it?
are a religious people.
So, when you prepare lasagna, like you put it in the oven with the cheese on top, it melts. swearing leather pants, your body's just melting.
Is that what the reference is?
Yes.
Wait, this is on a guy
Like
or a
it's
girl?
on girls, no.
Okay.
Only girls, yeah.
Okay.
The lasagna is
There might be
cooking nicely.
Okay.
So you can imagine someone else on Facebook would not understand such a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is short stabbing you up?
A lot of airplane crash stuff always. It just
Wow.
like airplane crash
That
investigations.
dropped on me like
Yeah, like that.
Aviation content. Oh,
Okay.
Okay, so maybe you like just I'm fascinated with planes.
No,
and
no,
stuff,
I
right?
know that.
Oh,
but
yeah?
So I get served
not
up all
just
kinds
the-
of aviation content. Yeah.
Not just the crashes.
oh, I didn't know you're fascinated by aeroplanes.
Yeah. What?
Imagine.
At the airport, you point at any plane you see out there. I'll tell you who manufactured it and the model.
Yeah.
Like just by the shape of the
That
tail.
side of you I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
And like
Now I'll
each-
be more interested. I'll be more keen.
like planes, like the different airlines, they have like the symbols.
Yeah.
Like, just point at any of the symbols,
And
tell
he'll
you
know which one it is.
Yeah, which airline it is.
I had a job.
He's a nerd.
For like a year and a half during university. I worked in a travel agency that was like. Did I not tell you this?
No. You're dropping
Travel
bombshells.
agents.
I worked as a travel agent, but I was paid by the university. The university had its own travel agent that was meant to basically arrange trips for like faculty and staff and stuff like that. Like this person needs to go speak at a conference, but then it got sort of expanded to the study abroad community, and that was our main customers: kids that are going to go to London for 6 months that need the flight and need the whatever. Where was it on? Oh, but back then, okay, so no internet, right? So the way you'd find out where the flights went is there was this huge like phone book that got published each month. Basically, all the airlines in the world would have to register their flight schedules a month in advance, and like I think they weren't supposed to change them. Some of this still carries on today. Like they're not like they still have to register in advance and stuff like that. These days it's more because you're selling tickets, and if you change it, you're gonna have to refund. But then it was like so the travel agents could figure out, okay, from Chicago to London. Okay, here's the airlines that fly, whatever. And then you pick up the phone and you call those airlines. British Airways, do you have availability on the 20th of June on your on BA flight 47 from Chicago to London? Yes, okay, I'd like to reserve one ticket, and you'd exchange the information. And you literally write the ticket, like a paper ticket on this like special carbon paper.
Wow.
These are oldie timey stories. Anyway, that huge phone book, to me, okay, I would like basically punch out. I wouldn't be paid anymore. I would be responsible for closing up the agency at night,
So that you can just go through the.
and I would just stay in the agency. I wasn't being paid. I don't know, just look through that book to see where airplanes went to. Do you know there's a flight from Moscow to Havana on Aeroflot? Just like find little weird ones through that phone book that was like all the flight schedules of every airline in the world. Isn't that
And
nerdy?
That's intense.
That's some nerdy ass shit.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
nerdy.
Yeah.
Did
The
like
shit- like yeah.
were
I-
people flying to Africa?
Women were
much?
definitely turned off by my hobbies, right? I don't remember ever booking a ticket to Africa when I worked there. Loads to Europe.
Okay.
I think maybe a Cairo, because there was some study abroad.
Which
in
years are
Cairo.
this?
This would be like 1993, 1992, 1993. So pre-internet, but I remember like I worked there like a year and a half, like maybe 6 months in, we had the book, but then there was like a diskette version of the book that you could that you would get DHL to you, and it would come, and here's the schedules for July, and you load them into a computer, but it was not online. It was just basically the whatever. And I just found the book easier, so I didn't use that because it was like just too much work. You put in the disk, you probably whatever filter by dates or whatever. I could just go through the book, phone book.
So that's where your interest grew from.
Well,
By
I don't know.
working at the-
Yeah, anyway.
No, I think it comes before
long
because
story by itself.
as a kid you would pore over maps the same way.
Totally.
Yeah.
All the time.
Oh.
Yeah.
So now he was just looking at how people go around the maps
Yeah.
Yeah.
that he was looking on as a kid.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But
Okay,
okay,
can
when you say women were turned off by your hobbies, like
I'm
is
just
it they weren't really? It's just that you were never there. You were in
Yeah,
the, you were in the office
you-
poring over books
Yeah, I
and
didn't
being
have
out there
time
with
for
the women.
chicks.
Exactly.
Right, so I didn't have time. I was busy seeing who flew from Chicago to Brussels. Yeah, that was a super I remember I probably booked 20 tickets from Chicago to Brussels because that was like a huge hub for getting like professors and people into Europe. And Chicago was the closest city to where I was at university. Closest international airport.
Where were you?
University of Wisconsin. It's in like what we call the Midwest. It's like the farming country of America. But it's in a reasonable sized city that's also the capital of the state. It's probably like a Catale sized city, Madison, Wisconsin.
Okay.
But the university is quite big there.
So much to
Or
unpack.
maybe Eldoret size city. Maybe Eldoret. Yeah. Maybe a little bigger. Yeah. 200,000 people. I think that's maybe Eldoret-y. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
That's a Vihiga.
That's a,
Sort
is
of.
that right? Vihiga?
Yeah. Eldoret is
Okay.
big.
Eldoret's bigger, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Vihiga size city.
Yeah.
Yeah. Small town surrounded by farms.
Oh, that's another way Kenyans are getting into America now, apparently.
What's that?
American farmers are coming into Vihiga and Eldoret and Kitale and grabbing a bunch of farmers, like people who already know how to use the farming tools, are already interested in farming,
And bringing them to the
and
US
bring them to
because
the
we
US
can't get
on
that
some
labor.
visa,
Interesting. Oh my
HB2
God.
visa or something like
That
that.
is amazing.
And
right?
it's seasonal, and then in winter they come back to Kenya. In winter
Okay.
in the US, they come back to Kenya and do their thing, and then
Yeah.
next year they apply again for this temporary visa and go and
Wow.
work. And
Interesting.
then, yeah,
That's interesting. That's not a government organized though.
No.
Okay.
well,
No, it's-
apparently, no, it's not. I don't.
Well, U.S. government organized, not Kenyan government organized.
Yeah.
Like the U.S. government has realized like people
I
have a
feel
hard
like
time getting
Kenyan
farm
government
workers.
is gonna jump into that if it gets big.
So the thing is, people are saying that the person who I saw posting this, or I can't even remember on what platform, said that everyone that they've talked to are actually from the Kalenjin community.
Oh.
Who are in Kenya, who are in the US for
The
that
US.
particular
Okay.
task.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Interesting.
anecdotally, I guess.
There was a couple guys I used to work with that actually went to the U.S. on to university in the U.S. on full scholarships because they were both like elite students and also like elite runners. And so effectively it became like a scholarship program for Kalenjins. Like everybody in the program was Kalenjin. Yeah.
It was a sports scholarship, athletic
It was
scholarship.
an athletic scholarship, but it was to major universities. One of the guys, I mean, I think I had 2 or 3 guys on this, and that basically did this. They were one went to Yale, one went to University of Pennsylvania, and one went to Harvard. So they were elite students as well. And I once met the guy who. I hope I'm not like trash talking. Somebody could figure this out. Do we even have any viewers? I don't think so. So nobody's listening. Nobody's listening. He said like in the early days, when they would be picking kids for the scholarship, they would just look through like the public test results. Like I guess you guys publish do the top
Yeah,
students in the country get published like
Yes.
the top
Yeah,
100?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the
He's like-
newspapers.
And he's like, we would look for Kalenjin names and then we would track them down. So it was, and then they changed it to be like, okay, we can't do it that way. So it's like a running, whatever. But like in the early days, like they had like some, I don't know where the money comes from this program, but they had some donation that was going to sponsor like 2 scholarships. And so they just looked at the top 100 students and they picked the Kalenjin names and called those guys up and sent them off to the U.S.
Ooh.
Wait for to run, to actually be in the
To
athletics
study.
Both
department.
run in the university program and also,
Be smart.
You can't get into Harvard by just being a good runner.
Yeah.
In some universities, like my university, if you were just a good American football player, you could come to my university, regardless of your background had to be
Intellectual
decent. You had to have
capabilities.
graduated from high school, whatever, but you didn't necessarily need to be a superstar. Harvard doesn't do it that way. It's like, yeah, you're a great runner, but if you're not like a great student as well, we don't give just people can't just get in because they can run.
Yeah.
But some universities will take you in just because you can run. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Ababu Namwamba had a team going to France for.
Have we gotten the list?
He's still not giving us the list. So what we're gonna do is
wait, back
so
up. Who are we talking about?
Ababu Namwamba is the CS for sports and culture.
Yes.
CS for
The
Sports and
minister,
Culture.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So there's a team
A
going
new,
to.
a new appointee of Ruto, yeah?
Yeah,
Appointee
yeah,
of Ruto?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
yes.
Okay.
So there's a team that was going to France for tennis.
No. Oh, I don't know. Like the General Olympics. We have the Olympics
Yeah,
starting at the end of the
yeah,
at
they're
the
going
end of the
for
month.
Olympics from Kenya. So first of all, so Gen Zs are demanding accountability of how money is used. Yeah.
Yeah.
So CSs have the habit of carrying their side chicks, their side chicks friends.
Yeah.
their
Small
side
girl, big
chicks.
God.
Friends, yeah,
And
yeah.
the side chicks go to Instagram
Yeah.
because they're
We're
on
in
a plane and
Paris.
then they post small girl, big God. Shut up! We know that's our money.
On our
Which
dime.
Or
God?
they'll poach.
Don't involve God
On
in
our
things
dime.
that
They'll post.
don't concern Him.
They'll post, you're catching feelings, I'm catching flights.
And I paid for that fucking flight.
And so So now we need accountability. So we need a list of people going.
Uh-huh.
The sportsmen and women.
Totally.
And whoever is accompanying them.
I mean, I just don't see how a government could ever operate
And he
any
promised
other
to
way,
give us the
right?
list, and he's not giving us the list.
Yeah.
So we are saying in France, at the airport, Kenyans stay ready.
Yeah.
He lands, you take a picture of every female or anyone
Yeah.
that you think is
Right,
a company
right.
and post their photo here.
Yeah.
So a photo was posted yesterday of a girl
And
at
don't
the
fall for it
airport.
if they have like a hoodie on or looking down. Like
Exactly.
we know, we've
We
seen
know,
that.
I've
We
seen.
know exactly.
So there's a lady
that,
sitting
that bag
pretty.
is full of wigs. Right?
With her slit, and then Nyakundi posted her photo and tagged Ababu. Who is this?
Yeah.
We need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do they go this far early before the Olympics? I'm so curious about that now. Like,
What
what
are
are
they
they
supposedly
doing?
going for?
Maybe practice. They went
Practice?
yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Practice
I'm
in
saying-
France. France, they have to go to France.
I guess they're
maybe,
going to acclimatize or something. I don't
I mean,
know.
maybe
they-
like in certain.
they have
Did they
events.
bring athletes with them?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe some like I know this like in the Winter Olympics. It's like they want to see the course beforehand because like in the Winter Olympics you're skiing, so like every hill's different. Like you can't just show up the day of your event and have never seen the hill before.
Oh yeah.
Like or maybe that's a bad example. Like even like the bobsled tracks in the Winter Olympics, like everyone's built differently, or whatever. So like they need to know, okay, the curves, here's this, that. Just like probably a Formula One driver would want to know the track, you know,
Yeah.
if he's racing on a track he's never been to before. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I don't know, but mostly because it's a racket, right? Like you know, a lot of this kind of travel is just a perk, right?
Yeah.
Like it's fun to go to Paris and you can shop and you can take pictures and you can eat good food and somebody else pays for it.
Yeah.
Come on. And this is where the Gen Zs are gonna put
Yeah.
a stop to this with this type of thing. It's
Yeah.
like it better make sense,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The Olympic Village. There's stories coming, like there's stories to get out of the Olympic Village that we haven't gotten to the bottom of. There are some leaks.
Wait, what's happening?
So apparently, so someone was asking, is there, someone on Reddit asked, oh, that's another social that you've not heard about.
It's called
much
Reddit?
about. Reddit.
Reddit.
You
Okay.
familiar with Reddit?
No.
Yeah. So someone asked, has anyone ever dated a pro athlete? And so like a bunch of stories came from that. How athletes, it's always everything is always about them in their relationship.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. Everything is always about them. Like there's a lot of narcissism. Like there's a lot of everything. It's all about me.
Oh yeah.
Like and then now now that's where there's rumor. Okay, that's where now someone spoke about the Olympic Village, like how they are always up to no good. They need 300,000 condoms in Paris for this particular so all the athletes are packet like
Yeah.
are
They're
put in the same
put in the same
Right.
environment.
yeah,
It's
it's
like-
debauchery.
Yeah, come on.
Like I want the whole
Yeah,
story.
yeah,
I need someone to write. I need someone to write a book about this.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
What
would be
happens down in
interesting.
the
Yeah,
Olympic
it'd
Village.
be
Yeah.
interesting. So, yeah.
Oh my god. Energy on another level.
Right.
A bunch of self-assured, very competitive.
Athletes freak me out.
They do.
Well, it's like for almost every one of these, it means if you're going to get the professional level of like whatever the sport is, it means you got extremely serious and extremely disciplined, extremely structured, extremely young. It means from like when you were 10, you were in that pool every morning at 6 a.m. Like if you're like an Olympic swimmer, that's the truth.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
Apparently,
Yeah.
they train like
Just-
swimmers will train
and
4
when I
hours
just
a
think back
day.
to my childhood, where it's like, you know, I get up if it was no school, I'd put on The Price is Right. Like I'd go in the backyard and chase down like a frog. I'd go to the park. It's like I just cannot picture a childhood like that, and like it's got to make you a different kind of person. And almost every great athlete has got to have had that childhood.
Yeah.
By definition, there's almost no sport you can be like at age 18. You can be like, I'll take it up. Maybe there's some endeavors like darts or chess.
most of the-
Maybe you could take chess up at 18 and become a grandmaster. Maybe I don't know. Maybe even that you have to be doing it when you're 6. Which is
Yeah.
I don't know. Athletes freak me out, man. Don't they freak you out?
They kind of.
You want to be doing normal child things.
Like that
And
person had a
not-
fucked up childhood. Like you just know they did. Right. I mean, and there's worse and better ones, right?
waking up to like
Oh my God.
a line of things to do and to follow.
There's a tennis player a retired tennis player named Andre Agassi. Does that sound familiar? Have you ever? Would you be able to name a single tennis player?
Serena Williams. Are you
Okay,
kidding
got
me?
it.
Yeah.
Got it. And would that be to your
Venus
attention because
Williams.
she's black?
And
Like, is that why you
she's
know
a
about her?
woman.
Did you know
She's
about
a
like?
woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know about white female tennis champions?
Nah,
No. Okay.
not
Okay.
even
Yeah.
What's her name? Anna Kournikova.
Okay. Got it. Andre Agassi wrote his autobiography. He was a famous tennis player, won all the Grand Slam tournaments, Wimbledon, U.S. Open, all these great tournaments, but just wrote about his completely fucked up childhood. And not in a way, some people write because they're trying to get back at mom or whatever. It wasn't. It was just like, hey, this is what it's like. And I think when you read it, it's actually pretty
facts.
normal. Like,
Okay.
where in his case, it was the dad driving him all the time to play tennis, built like a half tennis court in the backyard so he could just practice all the time. Wouldn't let him do stuff unless he had practiced for 3 hours. Like, no, you're not allowed no, you don't eat lunch until you hit serve returns for 3 hours.
That's crazy.
And he talks about how much, and I don't know if this is like, how much just like he was the world's number one, and he just is like, I just hated tennis. I did it every day, but I hated this thing so much, And I don't think that's like abnormal. You should. It's an interesting book.
Yeah. What's the title?
It's called Open.
Open.
Yeah, I've got it upstairs.
He wants a bunch of opens.
We are in my home studio. If anybody
yeah.
wonders why I have books
Someone
upstairs.
was wondering what upstairs?
And we've got a real life TikTok going on over
yeah,
here
yeah,
next
yeah.
to the Give
Yeah.
RK Your Theory. This apartment building.
What's happening?
Yeah. This apartment building has been going on since I knew Chad. So
That's true.
Finally, it's coming to an end.
But it looks like it's super luxe, and it's got these balconies that
Yeah,
face
it
this
has
way.
nice balconies where
And-
TikTok videos will
She
be
says we'll be able
produced.
to just go on the balcony upstairs and look over, and you'll see like 4 different TikTok videos being filmed on each
Only
of the
that you
balconies.
can't scroll.
You can't scroll though.
Yeah.
Oh, like you'll be watching
Live.
people
Because
in their houses.
well, no,
like that's the TikTok.
because this will be Airbnb by like Slay Queens, right? That's the theory.
Coming up with our theories.
Theory
have you
is
ever
all those will be
explained-
Airbnbs, and like all of them will have Slay Queens on the balcony.
Have you ever explained what a slay queen is on this podcast?
To the international, is that an international term or is that a Kenyan term?
I think it's very much a Kenyan
It sounds to
term.
me like an East
I
African
like-
thing.
don't know if I know.
sponsor.
And could we like maybe we need a whiteboard for this? Daisy, could we? I think there's a Venn diagram, overlap between a baddie and a slay queen, but I can't explain to you what it is. Could one of you guys explain
Actually,
to me?
you know what,
Where do
yeah.
they overlap and where are they separate? Is there somebody
Okay,
who's
well, yeah, I think
a
that's
baddie
easy.
but not a slay queen? Is there somebody who's a slay queen but not a baddie? And is there somebody,
I
of
feel
course,
like-
there's both, and of course, there's people who are neither.
I think
Yeah.
it's-
I feel like a baddie is a very independent person. A slay
female,
yes.
right.
A slay queen depends on sponsor money. That's my definition.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought they were the same. I
You
a
thought they were
baddie is a
synonyms?
slay-
Yeah.
Example of a baddie is who?
Millie Odhiambo.
Millie
Okay, an
Odhiambo,
example of a slay queen is?
Vera Sidika.
Okay, so
Okay.
now you guys tell me, you tell me what's the difference between those two. I don't know who either. I've heard of Vera. I haven't
Okay,
heard of the
I
other.
think I know what Millie Odhiambo is talking about, so let me say that. Let me explain what Millie Odhiambo is. So Millie Odhiambo is a baddie,
Yes,
and you don't tear gas a baddie.
you don't tear gas a baddie. I'm familiar.
Like that's guidelines.
Guidelines. That's just bad etiquette.
That's just bad etiquette.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just a bad girl. Like, it's someone who rejects the rules. Like, doesn't.
Are you a baddie?
I'm definitely a baddie.
Are you a
Come
baddie?
to think of it,
Are you a
if
baddie?
that's the definition.
I'm both.
Rejects rules.
like-
Based on my
baddie?
explanation,
Daisy, are you a baddie?
Daisy is a baddie.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, it's shaping up in my head now.
Yeah.
Is-
But are you
okay.
a slay queen?
Yeah.
Are you a slay queen?
No.
Daisy, are you a slay queen? Okay, 2 no's and a yes. Okay.
I need a sponsor. Call me. And I also
Can
don't
you be
mind.
a slay
No, but
queen? Can you be a
just
s-
said like a slay queen will rely on
Yes.
a sponsor.
Can,
I don't
can
have
you be a slay
sponsor.
queen without being a baddie? Or is slay queen a subset of baddies?
Now I'm so confused.
Can you be a slay queen without being a baddie?
Yes. Or is that
No.
impossible? Okay. So slay
No.
queens are okay. If we had a whiteboard, I could show.
Slay queen is a subset of
okay,
a
I'd have
baddie.
females, and then I'd have a smaller circle that would be baddies, and then a smaller circle inside that would be slay queens. But there'd be 100% overlap of slay queens and baddies.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
But not the other way. Like there's
Yeah.
lots of baddies who aren't
Maybe
slay
the
queens. We got
viewers
2
can
right here.
tell us what they
Am I,
think
Am I a baddie? Oh no, you need to be a female. to be
in
a
our
baddie,
No, you are an
in our
incel.
comment section.
What? What?
He's a what?
Jesus.
You just called people
Christ.
females.
And him is a what?
And people who refer to women as females are insults. Okay, well, the Venn diagram is out there.
Oh,
also,
okay.
so
What should I say?
women.
Women. Got
That
it.
passed me.
That sounds nicer anyway. Women. Okay.
What are you ready to
You're
say?
exposing
I don't know. I
yourself.
just feel like I got insulted. Didn't you call me a? What was the male version of a Karen? No. Oh, yeah. We were talking
Chad.
about Chad.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah. Okay. We talked about this in another episode.
Yeah.
I'm the one who called him an opposite of a Karen. A Chad. Was I? Was I the one?
I think your usage of that isn't. I think.
Oh, because I looked it up.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
What's a
Yeah.
Chad?
An opposite of a Karen. Oh, the male version of a Karen.
No.
I don't think that's right, but we don't need to talk about it here.
Yeah, we don't. You're
Screw
never
it,
gonna
yeah.
hear it from me.
Yeah.
Did you just
You guys
cuss?
are just insults are coming in from both directions. all of a sudden. This podcast was going
No,
good.
like RK said,
Uh-huh.
you Chad, you're a person, but other Chads are an institution. They represent. You're a person, so sweet, so nice. Others are an institution.
Oh my God, we've lost Rosemary.
Okay.